Hello, everyone, and welcome to Entrepreneur Talks podcast run by Women Flix. My name is Yola, and my guest is Kristin Burke. If I'm not wrong, right? Welcome to Entrepreneur Talks podcast, Kristin. I'm so
Thank you so much for having me.
you're welcome. So, did I pronounce your name right?
Kristen.
Kristen. Okay, awesome.
Yes, there it is.
Kristen. I know someone with this name. Anyway, couple of
Oh, well, now
ladies.
you're going to know another, right?
Yeah, correct. So, Kristen, where are you talking from today? Where?
I am in Redondo Beach, California, so just outside of Los Angeles, California.
Oh, okay. I just had a guest before you, which was in U.S. as well. I can't remember now the city, but something related with California as well, I think. Oh, that's good. Good
Huh.
to get you guys connected.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, isn't it fantastic with technology how we can connect from all over the world?
That's so true. Yeah, I love this. That's why I have this opportunity to have powerful women to sharing their success and their journey and inspire other people from all over the world. Thank you so much for joining me. So, as you are aware, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, and you will be also live now. Our session will be also on podcast on Anchor later on, but not today. But now, straight live for these beautiful people on the other side of the screen. Thank you. So, Kristen, in three
Yes,
words, describe yourself, if it's possible.
absolutely. Ambitious, disciplined, visionary.
I love it. I love it. Wow. I love that discipline. This is me as well. I love all, but discipline just woo. Exactly. I know what you mean. So, and what is your business about? Like,
I am a goal achievement coach. So I help my clients close the gap between the goals that they set and the goals that they achieve. I work with a lot of ambitious client based business owners. So individuals that have financial planning practices, real estate practices, or other businesses where they focus on building their clientele, serving their clientele. I love working with those types of small business owners and helping them build big businesses and achieve their goals.
fantastic. So between setting and achieve, it goes a lot of things, right?
Mhm.
I'm so sorry about my dog. He tends to bark sometimes, but we carry on. This is real life.
Life, right? It happens.
Yeah. So as I was asking, setting and achieve a goal is
Hmm.
it comes something inside that you come and you work on.
Yeah.
Can you
Yes.
can you describe a little bit more about this part where you come in? What exactly brings into what you bring to the company, if it makes sense that way?
And I think this is a brilliant time to have this discussion as we get ready to wrap up the end of 2021. And so many people are starting to think about the new year. And with the new year comes this exciting energy. And it gives us all an opportunity to reset and refocus and set new energizing goals. And when I work with a client, I recommend that we go through 4 steps to arrive at meaningful goals. And that first step is visioning. So I believe that our long term vision sets the stage and the foundation for the goals that we're working on today. And without that
Yes.
clarity of where it is we want to go long term, it can be difficult to maintain perseverance and commitment and the discipline to achieve our goals today. So, great goal setting starts with building out your long term vision. From there, I walk my clients through a reflection process. So I believe that we often have a lot of our answers from within. And I've developed this belief through a practice of yoga. So this isn't a Kristin Burke original, but it makes a got a sense that we often are our own best guides. We have this level of intuition that we often don't tap into because life is busy. There's a ton to focus on social media. People are constantly giving us feedback. And so the reflecting process gives us a chance to slow down, to pause, and to think, what is actually working for me? What is not working for me? And what do I want more of? And what do I
Yes.
want less of? From there, it gives us a chance to brainstorm and think about what are all the possibilities of the goals that we can strive for and achieve in a new year, in a new quarter. And I always recommend that we set different goals in different categories. So a lot of my clients will have personal goals and professional goals and growth and development goals and financial goals.
That's right.
And then from there, that will lead us to that fourth step, which is actually planning. So I have found that a lot of people are really good at setting goals. I mean, come on, let's be honest. That's the fun part. You're dreaming, you're visioning, you're thinking about, what do I want in my life? This is awesome. But
I love it.
so many of us don't build an actual plan. And then we're somewhat surprised when we wake up in a couple of months and we're wildly off track for our goals and we're like, oh, forget it. I guess it wasn't that important to me after all. And it's really this methodical process that's a journey. And it's quite frankly, it's a journey of learning more about ourselves and what works for us
That's
and
so true. Yes.
refining and reflecting so we can achieve our goals.
Fantastic. I love your explanation. So powerful and really makes me think, yes, am I doing this right? And I'm doing this step, because it's so important. Everything that you said, these 4 steps are essential, not just important. They are essential for our business, for our career, for our life, for our everything. It's so good.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to also share, and this is something that I'm learning this year. This process, it can happen over a couple days. It could happen over a couple of weeks.
Wow.
I find that so many of us were taught in school about these finite deadlines, and we're taught in our corporate careers, we have a planning day, and it feels like everything has to be complete in a short amount of time on one day. And this process is truly intuitive. It requires a lot of reflecting, it requires thinking, it requires quiet and calm. And I personally like to go through these 4 steps over the course of a couple days, because I find that once I start connecting to my vision and I sit with that for a while, then I'll get different ideas. And then once I start reflecting, I'll remember other things and nuances that I've learned about myself and about my business. And so giving yourself space to work through these steps, I think, can be really helpful versus feeling like you got to cram all 4 in a 2-hour period on December 31st or
Yeah.
fail.
Is I do. You will tell me if I'm right, Kristen. But I do believe that it's not good to take too long, like let's say no months or weeks, but a couple of days, because the vision, the reflection, everything needs to be connected. If we leave a gap between this, it will increase the questions in my mind, like in our minds, like should I stay or should I do this or should not? You start to questioning a lot of things without listening your gut and feeling, go with your vibe, with your feeling, right?
Oh, are you talking about our friends' self-doubt and fear and imposter syndrome? So this is quite natural. We go through this beautiful process. We get really excited about this life we want to build and these goals we want to achieve, and we set our goals, and then it's like, oh, the doubt comes in. And there's that moment of time, right? There's that moment of time between the excitement around the idea and then the doubt. And it's learning to capitalize on that quick moment of time.
That's
And so
right.
one of the things that I love to do is I like to take quick action.
Yeah.
So as I start getting clear around the goals that I want to achieve in the new year, I need to start taking quick action around those, or that doubt becomes really, really real. And if any of our listeners are finding themselves in a place of that doubt and those negative mental narratives and the stories and the hesitation, I'll offer 2 questions so everyone can use to work through that doubt. The first question is to ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? So let's say you set this big business goal and you're really excited because you know this goal is going to move you closer to your vision, and this doubt starts to creep in. Well, just ask, what's the worst that can happen? And what's bad about that? What's bad about that? What's bad about that? And if you go several layers deep, you'll often find what you're really, truly afraid of. And then flip the script and ask yourself, well, what's the best that can happen? If I do this, if I take these steps, if I work towards this goal, what's the best that can happen? And what I have found when I've had to walk myself through this exercise, I've coached myself, when I look at the list of the worst and the best, it's actually not going after the best. That's far scarier than whatever my mind is making up that can be the worst case scenario.
It's so true. I do agree with you. And very powerful what you just said. Really, really good. Because it's so there we go. If we don't have these questions, if we don't use this, it can be very hard. It's going to be harder anyway. But this is good. Thank you, Kristin, for this, sharing this with everyone that is listening and watching as well, or will be listening. Is really important. And another question I have for you is, what are some of the roadblocks
Oh, yes.
in their goal achievement?
Yes. So we're starting to talk about one, and it's a lot of the mindset, right? And I want to point out that goal achievers also have self-doubt and fear, and they want to be perfect. So they have all of these same things, but they have systems in place to work through them. So these roadblocks, what gets in our way when it comes to achieving our goals? Well, number one is striving for perfection. And I'm going to overgeneralize.
I love it. It's just remember me, some clients, we keep saying this. No, don't look for that. It's no need.
No, oh my gosh. Well, and I can speak to this because I am this person. I want to have it all planned out. I want all the answers. I want to know what I'm saying. And what I have learned as I've built my business over the last 2 years is I learn far more by taking steps. And I need to get the idea baked to about 75% of the way, then start taking action. And then the rest of it is going to come together. But I'm going to overgeneralize for a moment. A lot of times women want to be perfect, and we strive for this perfection, and it keeps us stuck, and we keep waiting to feel confident when our confidence is quite frankly built by taking action. So recognizing that perfectionism is real, it's out there, and that most people don't have all the answers or don't do it perfectly the first time around. Have you ever thought, why is it that we go to do something that we've never done before? So I'm going to use golf, for example, because I've become quite an avid golfer, not to be confused with a good golfer. I just play a lot. And even though I've been playing golf for less than 2 years, I still, in my mind, expect to go out there and hit the ball every time and strive for par, and if not par, bogey and be one over. And as I'm talking with you this morning, I'm reflecting on yesterday's 9 holes, and I'm thinking, well, geez, I'm the prime example of a woman striving for perfection. Here I am with a newer hobby, a newer sport, something that's supposed to be fun, and I'm beating myself up because I four-putted on a hole. And so that's, one example. We often go to do something new and expect to have it figured out. So perfection, that's a big roadblock. Here's another one. I don't have time. How often have you caught yourself, and I'm guilty too, saying, I don't have time. I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to reach out to those potential new clients. I don't have time to read more. I don't have time to take that class. We often say I don't have time as a default. And what's really important to figure out, is it truly that you don't have time? Because look, some of us are absolutely going through a very busy season in our lives, and our personal lives, our professional lives might be pulling us in multiple directions. So is it really I don't have time? But what I have found with most of my coaching clients, it's not that you don't have time. It's we have to build up your courage. There's a gap between your confidence and your courage, and I don't have time becomes the quick fix. So we don't have to do the hard work to figure out what you're really afraid of and how do we need to grow your confidence. And I'm thinking about this because this happened to me last night. So here's a real example. So I was thinking, we had our parent teacher conference last week. So I'm a mama. I have a 7-year-old daughter. We had our parent teacher conference. I'm so proud of our daughter. She got a glowing review. And our teacher shared some work to help her just build her skill set and get ahead. And I thought, oh my gosh, I really want to pass this along to our tutor. We've been using a tutor since, the pandemic. A lot of the kids have been virtual. And so we decided to hire a tutor to help really bridge that gap from classroom virtual. And I'm building it up in my mind, like, this is going to be so hard. I have to scan all these assignments and I have to send this email. And in my mind, I am making this a way bigger task than it needs to be. You know what? It actually probably took me about 10 minutes. By the time I sat down, I scanned the work, I sent the email, and I thought, wow, it would have taken me longer to rewrite that on my to-do list than it did to actually do the task. So I don't have time is real, and it's our mind's way of messing with us when it comes to achieving our goals.
So true, Kristin. So
Yes.
true. And it's exactly, I see that happen a lot as well. And it is so hard sometimes to change this on people's minds and the people attitude and the way, like, build up their courage to do things in a different way. It is can be very hard, but it's not impossible. It's always like I say to my clients, it's not impossible. We can change, we can shift this way of thinking and this way of reacting to things, because it's all about ourselves to be trying to be perfectionist, trying to be to, like, oh, but I don't have time. Oh, no, 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 I have already a lot of emails to check or to write or to reply, and there we go. Just go for it.
Just
And
go
you
for
will
it.
be
So
fine.
I'll leave our listeners with an idea to help with I don't have time. So if you find yourself saying I don't have time, and you do nothing but change the way you describe the situation. So instead of saying I don't have time, start saying I'm choosing to spend my time doing X. And this is going to do a couple of things. Number one, it gives you power back, because we really have so many choices in how we're spending our time. And if you start thinking in terms of, well, I'm choosing to scroll Instagram versus going for my workout, it is a lot of accountability and reality that's going to come your way.
Yep.
So the small change in the way that you're describing your situation while you're working on, as you mentioned, building your courage, because that is a massive piece of all of this, is facing your fears and diving into what's getting in your way and what's the worst that can happen, what's the best that can happen. But changing the way you describe time and giving yourself that power back can be really helpful.
Wow. Very, very good. Thank you so much. This is, I could stay here forever talking to you today. I love it. So many tips you already gave to everyone here today. This is really good. And how now we spoke about this blockage, the roadblocks and etc. And the other things, but how we stay committed
I
to
think
our
our
goals.
internet went a little crazy there. So your question, can you repeat that question one more time for me?